All right. Hey, friends. Thank you for joining us here on this week's edition of Into the Word. I'm Pastor Eric over on this side. Over on the other side is Kay. Say hi, Kay.
Hello.
And all of our fancy friends that are just out there, and some of our non-fancy friends that are out there.
Greetings and good days to you.
Yes. And I'm trying to, what did you used to say? Something in caviar dreams and something else. I can't remember. There was a TV show on called Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, and that's how he would end it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So anyway,
I like my lifestyle.
I could care less. You're absolutely right. So no, I couldn't.
I'm like, I couldn't care any less than I already
any
do.
less than I already do.
Yeah.
Not my lifestyle, and wouldn't want it anyway. So
I like the money. Don't get me wrong. My lifestyle just wouldn't change.
No, when you get the money, it has to. There's things now that you have to do different. It's just the way it is. Anyway, thank you for being a part of the podcast today, where we are going to try to do some discovery with a word called fellowship.
We're smithing out a word today.
We'll be smithing it and...
Smithing it?
We'll be smithing it in etymology terms and finding out and discovering what does it mean and what is it, and is it in the Bible, and how, if it is, how do we live this? How do we do this thing called fellowship? Are we supposed to do this thing called fellowship? And what all does that mean? So
and how do we do this thing called fellowship?
is it important? Can we not fellowship? Should we leave it alone and go, don't do that? No, that's not good. Just what is it? Sometimes we throw around terms so easily, and maybe there's great richness to the terms. Maybe maybe we've been using them incorrectly. So that's kind of this thing we want to do today. Maybe
you use it because you learned from somebody else, but you didn't actually learn the true definition
what
of
it is. Yeah.
No.
So that's the idea of what we want to do today. We want to go to exploring, looking through God's Word about this thing called fellowship and what it is. So with that in mind, Kay, what do you want to open up with, and what do you want to say hi to everybody with?
Oh my goodness. It is a good day. It is a hot day.
It is hot. It
is not, and tomorrow's supposed to be even worse.
Hotter.
But besides the awful conditions that is the current weather, we have a lovely family members, lots of them, that finally have come home. And it's a really good day.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Got to do something with them last night that even when they come over for holidays, when they come into town for holidays, we've never really been able to done, and that is to have them over as a kind of a sleepover kind of thing.
Just lay bed down.
And,
it'll be fine.
and now, that doesn't work really well here in Pastor Eric's house at 800 square feet. If anybody knows anything about square feet, it's a really small house. And yes, we have a very, very, very small house.
Tight quarters.
Are there smaller ones? Yeah, we are just a step up from a tiny home, and I'm not laughing at that. That's true. Anyway, that's where we are. We had them here.
Some of them.
Great. It's great to have the grandkids, but the idea that moving back into the area, we really
nice. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, and we're excited. And the one things that we realized, first off, their lives are going to change greatly because of changing areas and so forth. But not being in our lives for the past 16 years or so, 15, 16 years, knowing that our lives are going to change.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So, and I want it to. Grandpa's heart is big enough to bring in a bunch more, so we're good.
Oh my goodness, we went from having, just the 4 to now we have the 9.
Yeah. So, all right, we're going to move on with today's show. Yeah, but that was just almost a little overwhelming right there when you went from 4 to 9.
Oh yeah. Don't worry about it. Just wait until all the rest of the 13 get here. Anyway.
So before we head on to this section, if you want to take a moment and brag about your grandchildren, I'll put my grandkids up against yours any day, but that's all right. The idea is to brag on them and to love on them. And every one of us to be biased about our grandchildren. I am. I love them, and I'll brag on them anytime that I possibly can. So if you want to do that, put that down in the comments below and just brag on your grandchildren, and we'll all appreciate it all together. And with that, Kay, how can they get a hold of us?
Well, speaking of the comments, you can get down a hold of us in the comments below.
Yeah.
You can also find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and on... Yeah, I think that's about it.
Just Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But, they're on YouTube if they're watching this.
Right.
So
but they can leave comments there.
They can find us here with everything else we do. If you aren't subscribed already, please do. It really helps us out. And if you're not subscribed, then why are you watching? Keep watching, though. It's absolutely lovely.
While you're watching to subscribe. To say, do I want to subscribe to this channel?
Maybe. You can leave a like as well and check out the other stuff that we've got going on in all those places. We also have our Ko-fi account, which is like Patreon. If for those of you who know, they know. It's also kind of like members for YouTube, but on a separate platform. Since we're not big enough to have members on our YouTube site here and now, and we are trying to make this a full-time ministry and working options, blah blah blah, working options, whatever that is.
Options that work.
So if you feel led to give, that would be absolutely wonderful. If not, if you could help us out by praying for us as well. We are doing this for what we feel God is leading us to do. So, yeah.
Right. All right. Well, thank you for that. And let's talk about fellowship. We're coming at this from a totally ignorant
I am.
point of view.
I am.
I kind of, for what you would like to do with this, I kind of am too. I have what I think it is. I have what I've used it for.
Yeah.
But to actually biblically, wow. Why is
biblically?
Yeah. Thank you. You said
faster. Say it faster.
Biblically. Oh,
yeah,
you know what it is easier to do that.
If you miss a syllable or two, nobody can tell. Just say it faster.
We want to deep dive. What does God's word have to say about it? How are we to take that out? What are we to glean from it?
No, and I definitely look at it and I question because of the story in, was it 1 Corinthians? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, 1 Corinthians
5. Mm-hmm.
For that story that goes on, and it's like, he shouldn't be fellowshipping with you. Throw him out of your fellowship. Well, it doesn't say he shouldn't be fellowshipping with you. It's remove this man from your fellowship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, and what is in that case to mean of what is your fellowship and what are you removing him from exactly?
Yeah, and in that case, remove him from your fellowship. Remove him from what? From fellowship. At that point, it's a predicate nominative, and it is the noun that goes to the preposition. Mm-hmm. So it's the object of the preposition, fellowship. And when it's used that way, it has a certain definition. And then there's another time, so actually as object of a preposition, it's not that. It's not a predicate nominative, I'm sorry. It's object of the preposition because you have the prepositional phrase and the object, which will always be a predicate nominative, but it's in that case, it's called the object of the preposition because it's where the prepositional phrase stops. Prepositional phrase stops on a noun. because it becomes the object to which the preposition is referring to.
Oh,
So from is the preposition, from your fellowship. And so at that point it becomes the object there. So it answers the question, from whom or what. And what is a fellowship? So there you go. We're gonna have to check that out.
I'm gonna have to
and
start
find
answering
it out.
it like Jeopardy now. What is a fellowship?
So anyway,
just what you're saying.
well, let's start there with the definitions, and we want to. And here's something I want to do. Knowing our tools that I want to use, I want to look up the definition in two different ways. I want to look up the definition of this and its usage. I want to look it up on Google, because Google is going to tell me a little bit on how to use it in a sentence and all that kind of stuff. And then I want to look it up in Webster's. Webster's is just going to give me the meaning, and
No, they use it in a sentence as well.
yeah, but Webster's, they do, but it also gives me all those other things that Google didn't. Google didn't tell me what part of speech it was. It was just telling me how it was used and what it means, and it gives the definition in a couple of different forms. And so will Merriam-Webster, but they kind of won't be the same. So if we can explore both of those to help us start with a definition, I think that'll get us going.
Ooh, yeah. So a little bit of etymology.
A little bit of etymology, although we didn't frame the question yet.
Do you want to do that then?
Nah, you know what? People know what we're doing. Let's do the etymology.
Woo. I did. Yeah.
All right, so here we are. Let's talk a little bit about this word, fellowship. So help us out there, Kay. Let's go to Merriam-Webster first. Nope. Let's use what you got then.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
There was kind of a reason for wanting to start with a dictionary first before we went to Google.
Don't worry about it. You just said Google.
I did.
Then.
I did that. Totally my fault.
Well, it's not fault at all. It's no fault of anything.
All right.
The only problem is ads.
All right. So here we go. Fellowship. What do you out there, for those of you that are
Fellowship.
watching, what do you think fellowship is? So here we go.
Okay. I dragged my yeah. There we go. Fellowship.
All right.
A noun.
Aha. That part of speech. That's what I've been talking about. To whom or to a whom or a what. Okay.
There we go. Synonyms. Right. So, companionship or company, looking for the fellowship of friendly people. A community of interest, activity, feeling, or experience. Their fellowship in crime.
Okay.
Not a great. Yeah. Okay.
All right. So that means they're together.
The state of being a fellow or associate.
All right. That has to do with a legal term. If somebody is a fellow. Yeah.
A company of equals or friends, an association, or a youth fellowship.
But that's also renaming a group. So that's back to the group thing. Okay.
The quality or state of being camaraderie. Meaningful communication for building trust and fellowship.
Okay. So that is a positive relationship right there. Okay.
The position of a fellow as of a university.
Yes. He serves as a fellow in the physics department.
The stipend of a fellow. A foundation for the providing of such a stipend.
They're being paid by the fellowship. And so that group of people who has a financial interest in something may serve a grant. Okay, so there's the financial.
Okay. Fellowship as a verb. Fellowshipped also as fellowshipping.
Uh-huh.
Intransitive verb, to join in fellowship, especially with a church member.
All right. Notice they used a religious term there.
A transitive verb, to admit to fellowship, as in a church.
Okay.
Interesting.
How they used religious orientation.
For the verb, yeah.
In both of
Use
those,
of it.
which means to be a
In a
friendship.
I was going to say, in a community of like-minded.
Well, that's the group.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go from a group, but to the verb, that is what the group is doing. They are in friendship, doing things that are in friendly character. They are talking, communicating, laughing, building each other up in encouragement. That would be considered that you were fellowshipping.
So
as
it's
a word that is used.
fellowship. So fellowship is always positive.
Fellowship is always positive. Yes, there is. There was one term up there where they used it in a negative term. We say, "Oh my goodness, those two guys right there, they are partners in crime." You know, to try to illustrate how tight they were. But in that particular,
Thicker than thieves?
partners in crime, or they used fellowship in crime. But the idea was to be in sarcasm, to just say that those guys are really tight. They're really good friends. Okay? And so it's a thing in friendship. So that's where that is. So okay, now in Google, how does Google say that we use that word?
Okay.
A lot of artificial intelligence here.
Not gonna say it.
Don't.
Nope, not gonna say it.
Don't need to.
All
Don't
right.
need to.
A fellowship is a competitive short-term opportunity that provides funding, mentorship, and professional development to help individuals pursue a specific project or advanced training.
Now that's as in college. So, you know, he was a fellow at such and such a college, or he was involved in the fellowship
The
at such and such
and
college.
research,
Mhm.
medical, professional, and public service.
Mm-hmm. So these are groups of types.
So, I asked down here, there's people also asked, and is what is the real meaning of fellowship?
Okay.
So, they say the real meaning of fellowship goes beyond casual socializing. It is a deep, active partnership based on shared experiences, mutual trust, and common goals. The term encompasses three primary concepts: human connection, a spiritual bond, and a structured academic or professional program.
Okay, so there it goes, all three. So take a look at that, and it's one of the reasons why you'll see this in a church setting when they talk about fellowship, because it is a deep, active partnership based on shared experiences. That should be in a church.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
mutual trust, that should be in a church. Common goals, that should be in a church. So you should have fellowship with people who are like-minded.
at its core, as defined by Merriam-Webster, fellowship means friendly association, camaraderie, and the state of sharing mutual interests. It is the warm feeling of belonging to a community of equals where people support one another through both good times, and hardships. This spiritual bond, I've got the case of hiccups.
Koinonia.
In a religious or Christian context, fellowship translates to the Greek word that, which Dad said,
Koinonia.
which literally means partnership or holding something in common. As detailed by the Grace Theological Seminary, this goes much deeper than sharing a meal. True spiritual fellowship involves vulnerability, mutual encouragement, sharing resources, and participating together in a shared faith. It is an active commitment to do life together rather than interacting only on a superficial level.
All right. One of those ways of doing life together, especially to the old church, was dining together. So what was one of the first things that happened when 3,000 people came into the church? Do you remember what they did?
Found a place to eat.
Almost. They all of a sudden gravitated to one another And
you're pretty familiar, aren't you?
and what they did is after they came to the saving grace of Jesus Christ and acknowledged that God the Holy Spirit was living in them, because the Holy Spirit is the one that came in, they found all things in common.
Mm-hmm.
So they started sharing everything across. What was the one big thing that they shared they needed on a daily basis? Food and water.
Well, because if you weren't working, you were most likely getting things prepped to be able to eat.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then, if you weren't getting things ready to eat, you were eating.
Okay.
So.
And so, yeah, there's a lot of times, and we make jokes, those of us in the church world now make a lot of jokes about this, that, if you want a fellowship, then get a bowl of macaroni tuna noodle. I can't talk tonight. Tuna noodle salad and some plates, and let's all sit around.
You had to choose tuna noodles.
Yeah, no,
Seriously?
I'm just making a joke.
Ugh.
But I will say this: when I was still doing youth work, it is amazing what happened. You get a bowl of watermelon, and you put it out on the table.
That's literally around the watermelon.
And you can sit around the table, and now the kids end up talking and acting like adults.
Well, okay. I'm sitting down and I'm eating. What am I gonna do besides just kind of sit there awkwardly? I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna try and talk.
It's a very, very natural thing. Now there are people, and there are I want to say communities, civilizations, that when you sit down, you don't talk. You sit down to eat.
Yeah.
You sit down and eat.
Yeah.
As what you do. There are some families that are here in the United States that's kind of common. We get around the table. What do you guys talk about, and so forth? And like, we don't talk. We sit around the table and we just eat.
That's so boring.
I can honestly say
I'm in the middle of trying to do a task, and mom or dad will still try and talk to me. Dad's in the middle of trying to work, and me and mom will still walk out and try to talk to him regardless. He's like, I'm a little busy. So you end up helping him and holding things for him.
But you're in fellowship during those times. You're sharing your mind, you're sharing your heart, your thoughts, different things like that. An easy way to do it is over a meal, while you're just sitting there and enjoying the things that are sat in front of you, the taste, the flavors, all that's going on, and to turn to the person to the right, to the left, at the end of the table, wherever they may be, and just say, so how's your day going?
And usually when somebody is eating and they enjoy their meal, they're usually happy and contented. And when they're happy and contented, they're usually relaxed. And when someone's relaxed, it's a lot easier to talk to them.
Right. And so this is fellowship. This is sharing one another. And we use the word sharing just so that we can sound really spiritual here. So that, what were you guys doing? We could either say we were eating or sound really spiritual and go, we were sharing.
You can say we were in fellowship.
I like this. Now we got a new word we can play with here. We were in fellowship with one another.
Doesn't that mean you just at the canteen eating with so and so?
Well, it depends.
Was it the so and so I liked, or was it that person over there that I don't so much like?
Well, this may end up bringing up part of the problem, or things we may need to deal with about fellowship and our understanding of really being able to fellowship with somebody. Because that may be where we need to say, listen, you so-and-so over there made you really mad. Are you still holding a grudge? Because that's really not the right and godly thing that we should do. We should forgive.
I don't care.
We should forgive, and I forgave them. Really? Can you fellowship with them?
Okay, look, I'll just eat on the other side of the hall. They can eat there. I'm not friends with them anymore, but I've forgiven them, and it doesn't matter, okay? I've heard it all before, right?
Well, can you fellowship with them?
Look,
we're
in the same room together, okay?
Do we see why that situation all of a sudden, where this word really comes up? Can I sit down and actually this used to be a thing that was said. Can I sit down and break bread
I was gonna say
with them?
The modern day version is can you be friends with them?
Yeah, can you be friends with them?
Yeah.
But breaking bread, that is an interesting way of showing our fellowship. You would go and the labor, you talk to me a little bit about the labor of making a couple of loaves of bread. You do this from time to time.
Well, I've never made
if you're not making tortillas.
I haven't really made loaves. I've made quick breads. I've made flatbreads. Naan is really fun to make. It's Indian flatbread versus the Turkish.
Now everybody's
flatbread.
going to go non what?
Naan. It's
what is that?
It's Indian flatbread. I recently got into Turkish flatbread. Both of them really good. Even though the result is similar, they're actually completely made differently. One has a bunch of yogurt in it, and the other one's a simple yeast bread. It's
okay. Because when you say non, I'm thinking non-nuclear, non-determinate, What are we talking about here?
Bread.
Non-bread. Okay.
Non-bread. So I can't fully remember the recipe for the naan. It's been quite a while, but I know you had to have Greek yogurt or sour cream to make it, and it's a really nice savory, light and fluffy, but you have to deep fry it to get it to puff up and do what it's supposed to. You can't fry it on the skillet, whereas Turkish flatbread is a super simple water, yeast, flour, no sugar, some salt, a little bit of oil, and then you actually cook it on the griddle. Of course, you all let them raise for an hour. Both of them. You have to raise for an hour for the yeast to work. But then you section it out, you work it over, you roll it out, and then you fry it on the skillet. You don't deep fry it because that doesn't work with that kind of bread. You have to gently cook it on a skillet, and that works the best.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now talk to me a little bit. You go through all this. How fast can you whip a batch up?
It takes 2 hours at the maximum, and that's included cooking time. And of course, you have to wait an hour for it to proof on it, and then you have to roll them out, and then you have to cook it. It takes a lot. They're not super intensive, just time consuming.
Okay.
Of course, that's with the kneading, which takes about 10-15 minutes to knead, and then you really got to get
but
in
I
there.
need it right now.
It's KNEAD.
Oh, wrong need. Okay.
Yes, it's the complicated knead. To do it, and it's not even the most time consuming process. There's a lot of other stuff. I like to make what's called boba, but it's tapioca pearls. I've made them by hand, and it's very time consuming and a very arduous process, but you eat them super fast, and all the kids really love them, and so they all want to come in, and they're like, oh, can I have some, can I have some, can I have some? And I'm sitting there
they eat them faster than you can make them.
And I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I just made this, and it took me almost half the day to make it.
Okay, do us a favor really quick. Go out online and get us an example of Turkish flatbread.
Okay.
So that people can see what Turkish flatbread looks like. And then your boba pearls. They're called pearls, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Your boba pearls. Look for when we get done with the Turkish flatbread truck. This is going to be a rough show if I can't talk. And then we'll have people so that they can get a visual of what we're talking about.
This is actually exactly what I make. Roughly about
Blow
the
it
same
up.
size
Blow
as
it up.
well. Hang on.
Make it a big explosion.
Chewy.
There you go.
Oh, they're so good.
They're very good.
They're really good.
I love the texture.
They're very versatile as well.
Texture is a chewy texture.
You can go sweet or savory.
I love that. Goes really good with peanut butter, by the way, just letting everybody know.
It goes good for sweet or savory. When I make them, and I have the kids around, because sometimes I make a double batch. I can get about 8 flatbreads and do decent size out of them. And I put pizza topping. I make a little miniature pizza out of it.
Now, they are not tortillas. They are way thicker than that.
They're super thick.
That's about the thickness of 6 or 8, maybe even 10 tortillas.
It's pretty
Depending on how flat you make your tortillas. But yeah, you with the same thickness, it would take about 10 tortillas to get to one piece of flatbread. Okay.
Yeah.
So then show us your pearls.
My pearls. No.
Yeah.
So boba, here we go. So it's boba
Now
tea
she
specifically.
finds all these places that has this stuff. Yeah, there you go. There's a cup with the pearls in the bottom
little
of them.
black stuff.
Right, and are
In them.
tapioca like, right?
So it is tapioca, but it's the homemade tapioca that you got to get with the starch and everything, and then you got to boil them for almost an hour and make them. Of course, the harder part is I don't want any of those. Here we go. See, like this.
So that would a bowl before you put that in your drink. That would be what that looks like.
So, you gotta cook it, then knead it together with the starch, and then the recipe I have only gives me a dough ball about that size.
Okay.
And about maybe that thick and everything. So not very big at all, but it makes depending on the size I make, because usually the pearls themselves are about that big, really big. So I maybe get about 150 out of them, maybe a little more, and I have to do all of those by hand. So I'm sitting there plucking a little off, and I'm rolling it, and then I have to make sure none of them dry out, because if it dries out, then it crumbles really bad, and then you have to boil them for about 45 minutes, and then you have to let them cool out, and then you're gonna make a syrup for them, I guess you could say, like a nice sticky sweet syrup that you douse them in, and then to make them taste even better, you let them sit overnight in the fridge in the syrup that you made and put on them, and it's really time consuming for how fast they just get eaten up. And so usually I make them by myself so that I can eat them by myself, but so a lot of times the girls look at me and they go, can we have some, can we make some? And then by the time I'm sitting there rolling them all out, the girls are like, can we just go play or something? And I'm like, you asked for this, you're gonna finish helping me.
That's right. So here's the bottom line that we want to get down to. So tell me, you got the girls that like to eat it, but after you put all that work into it, and let's say you do a very, very special one and you're trying to surprise somebody, and it's somebody that you're inviting over, and so you're hosting, and you're really putting your heart to either in this bread or the boba, whichever one that you're going to do, and you do it and you serve it. What is in your heart when you've done something special like that, and it's like, I want you to try this, and you put all that work into it?
So
what's going on inside your heart and mind?
Who am I giving it to? If it's the kids, it's, I want to take care of you, I love you, I want you to eat and be taken care of.
Or the times that all of a sudden you come walking over to me with the first
for
cookie, giant cookie, first Turkish bread.
You either get the last pancake or the first cookie. Usually between that. What's in my for you? I don't really...
No, not me.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
you. What's going on inside of you?
I meant giving it to you.
Yeah. What's going on inside?
I don't really know. I just was like, oh yes, here's your tribute, my lord. I don't know.
Don't tell everybody that.
It's such a habit to give it to you. I mean, for so much, it's, you've taken care of me for so long and everything, and I really, the reason why I do it is because of Mom. That's what I've seen Mom do, and I've seen Mom in the way she loves and takes care of you, and I guess in the most of the part why I do it is because that's how I see her mirror loving you, and I love making things for people and feeding people.
Okay, let's take that right there.
It is such a overwhelming.
What would happen?
I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna give it to you to eat it.
Yeah, and they stand right there. It's like, what do you want me to do? Eat it.
My goodness.
So what would go through you if somebody would have rejected what you put all that work in?
that's your decision. That's fine. I'd really like you to try it, but I would kind of sulk, I guess. When I think about truly deflating, truly sad, I make pot pie, I've made soup, I've made dessert, I've made a bunch of other sides and snacks and everything. I've put a lot of work into this meal that I want to give you because, like, Thanksgiving basically, and you invite the people over and you give it to them. And that suddenly got loud.
Yeah, it did. What is it?
I thought that was your phone. Your what is that, Dad?
I don't know. It stopped.
Okay.
Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Okay. I bet all this work and I invite you over to eat, and if you're just gonna say no, I don't want anything, or not even graciously be like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were gonna have all this food, I already ate or something, it'd just be like, no, I'm not gonna eat anything you make. I'm gonna be mad at you, actually. I don't,
okay.
Like,
all right.
Angry.
I am getting at something, by the way, here that's about food. And
I'm humoring you.
Yeah. Anybody that does anything, when you go and you work to serve them, to provide for them, to sit down with them, and even after you've done it, it's something with your hands that
Hard
you have
work.
done. And I'm giving it to you with a heart that wants you to have this. I really want you to have this. What kind of fellowship then, because you asked me, fellowship is always a positive word. Would you have this kind of a situation that I did that for you? What this is what I believe the heart of fellowship is getting after. Number one, you got the person that did the prepper, and why food it seems to always somewhat be around it somewhere, if not the center point, is because first off, I took this out of my pantry. I'm taking away from me, my family eating, and I'm including you. For a moment, you're going to be my family, and I am going to feed you, and I'm going to do this out of a heart that has love, and I am giving to you, and I want you to be able to do this with me. See, all of these things is what goes into fellowship. It's the giving, it's the loving, it's the I'm taking out of part of what I have and I trust you with it.
Two things.
Yeah, go ahead.
Love languages. One of the biggest ones is just spending time, quality time.
Yeah.
It's one of the love languages. I still don't know which category it specifically is, but I definitely know it's one of my love languages. I'm going to give you something to eat. I'm going to make sure you have something. I'm going to prepare something for you and give it to you. I'm not sure if that's gifts or if it's what level of love language it falls under, but it's definitely one of them. For the time and the effort put into it, and I want to feed you, I want to take care of you, I want to give you the gift that of my blessed food that I've made from the lands. I'm gonna stop with that joke anyway.
Okay.
So it's in there somewhere, and I mean, if it's supposed to be intimate and true to the barest sense of I'm getting to know you and we're being honest with each other, then yeah, it makes sense to have one of the biggest love languages of just spending quality time with one another.
So there's all this kinds of stuff. Now I can see where somebody's fellowshipping with somebody and it not be over food, especially when you get two dudes that get together and there's a project, 2-3 dudes getting together, and there's a project that they're going to do, and they're not stressing about it. They're old farm hands. They know how to do carpentry, leather works, masonry, whatever. And it's like, yeah, we're going to work on this building. It needs some fixing up. Well, let's grab my tractor. We'll do this. Here's my tools. And they're just laughing and cutting up while they're not even telling each other what they have to do. Everybody knows what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And they're just cracking up and so forth. And as they're talking and going back and forth, there's no food there.
But they're all of one like mind.
But they were like one mind, and there was fellowshipping that was going on and supporting each other. In fact, I've seen a group of guys do that. It was actually over an airplane. They were rebuilding an airplane. And as they were doing the airplane, these 5-7 guys got together. And I actually heard them say this. Is so-and-so going to be there? Okay, I'll show up if he's going to be there. I love working with that guy. He is hilarious. Oh, and another one say, so-and-so's going to be there? Okay, great. Is he bringing his tools? Man, he has got the coolest tool. He's got a tool for everything. Oh, man, love working with that guy. And the other one, yeah, so-and-so's going to head up the project. Oh, I am so glad. That guy knows everything about every single engine plane I have ever seen.
That guy knows what he's doing.
That guy knows what he's doing. And yet the dude that was talking about it in his right mind has already built like 7 planes. You know, it's not that he doesn't know what he's doing.
But it's nice to defer to somebody else
exactly
who also knows what they're doing.
And then he's really good at putting together crews and so forth. The other guy's like, I'm running coffee. I don't know a thing about a plane, but I'm just gonna chill. I love being with you guys. You guys are a hoot to be with, you know, and that kind of stuff. I actually heard that conversation, and these guys working over a plane. And if that's what they were going to do, then that's everybody that was going to be getting, you know, they were going to get together. It seemed to me that kind of if so and so didn't show up, it might have fallen apart.
It would have been a bust.
Of Beethoven? Bach?
A bust.
Of Beethoven? Bach? A bust is a statuette that's only from chess.
You started going off it, and I'm like, why specifically composers? I don't know. Anyway. Okay, lost.
Lost in translation right there. So...
You can also call it a buttress.
But those guys, I'm moving right along. Those guys were in fellowship working together.
I don't know why it was specific because of the one guy.
Nah, it probably wasn't. That's what the guys were just saying, because they could all hear each other as they were talking, and you know, nobody was putting anybody down or whatever. What they were doing was lifting up. Mm-hmm. And making the other guy, if he's going to be, you know, that guy is so smart about planes. And like I said, the other guy, you know, built 7 or so, I had heard, by himself. And but if that guy's going to be there, you know, he's kind of like our leader. I like him. He gets us in the right teams and working where we need to go. Which, by the way, they put together a plane, and they did it as a demo at EAA.
Fun.
And Experimental Air Association, I think that's what it's called. They have here in Oshkosh. And what they were going to do is they needed the plane assembled in 6 hours.
Dang.
And they were going to be out in the open, and all the people coming by could watch these group of guys assemble this airplane.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's super cool. And so they got their team, and they got their plane assembled with everything that they needed. And I believe the thing that stopped the clock is when they pulled the prop and the engine fired.
Nice.
Yeah. So that said that it was ready to fly. So
hopefully.
At least to those of us who don't know anything about planes, 2 wings, a propeller, and wheels. Woo! Oh, there's a seat. I like that.
What about the main body? What about the tail fin?
They said it could fly. I believe the guys. No,
that's not even a plane.
No,
that's just a propeller on a freaking office chair. And cardboard duct taped to it.
As far as some engineers go, that could be a plane. I'm pretty sure.
How much of it is plane to be classified as a plane before?
You got me.
It's experimental.
Remember, we're experimental, so it's going to be different than
different regulations.
Different regulations than standard. Yes. So anyway, but that was an amazing conversation just to listen to those group of guys talk about that, and it made you know, those guys liked working together. I mean, they were going to give up their time, and all of them were mechanical engineers of some sort. But they were all going to give up their time to come in and to do this thing, and it was just super cool. It should be the same way with fellowship in God's house. You know, people give up their time, but it's because they want to be together. They want to work with one another. That's something that they want to do.
Something common that binds them together.
Fellowship involved in that, and it's a deeply satisfying fellowship with other human beings being on their level. And I understand that deeply satisfying. I've been to church gatherings where I have met people that I didn't realize, I didn't know who they were, and I ended up spending some time with them to get to know them. And some of my most memorable times of being at church are not church services.
Yeah, no.
Church picnics.
Yeah.
I love church picnics. I love Sister Furlong bringing her pinto bean pie.
That was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. She brought 3 of them, and at that time our church was in the 80s, 90s, our church that was there. So she brought 3, not knowing how many other desserts and things there were going to be, and she made them out of pinto beans. But let me tell you, it looked identical to pecan pie. The top of it was brown, glazed. You could see that it was a nice sweet pie, but she didn't make anything out of pecan or pecan nougat. It was made out of pinto beans, and she brought 3 of them. And she did so. She found the recipe, and she just thought that it would be a hoot to bring that to the church picnic. And I can remember I was out doing things with the teens, because I was a teenager at the time, and I was doing things with the teens, and I was letting my main meal digest a little bit, and then I was going to come back to the dessert table. And sure enough, about a half hour went by. I was playing out in the sun and all this. So I came back to the dessert table, and I looked, and all 3 of those pinto bean pies were gone. I mean, they were gone. And the word got around. They didn't call them pinto bean pie. I didn't. I went up looking for a pecan pie. And she was over there. She's one of the ladies that hung around the food, kept the flies off of them. People were done. She helped cover it up. She did all that kind of stuff. And I said, Sister Furlong, I said, your pecan pies are gone. I didn't get a piece. She goes, oh, that's all right. And I said, why is that? She goes, they weren't pecan pies. They were pinto bean pies. I'm like, you didn't. She got the biggest grin on her face. She said, oh, yes, I did. And she said, and I said, well, this is the part everybody will like. Who took them? Because I didn't get a piece. That they were gone so much. And she said, don't worry. We'll find out.
Oh, my goodness.
She said, some of them boys were back here for more than one piece. Well, God bless them. I got to learn something about Sister Furlong that day. I remember the church picnic that we had for the ones that were graduating in 1975. I didn't turn 10 until 1976. So it tells you how old that I was. But we spent the afternoon playing volleyball in the rain.
So fun.
Because we were going to have that church picnic combined with their graduation party, and people regardless, and it just drizzled and rained all day. And so there were some who couldn't get wet. We had a lot of elderly in our church at the time, and they stayed in. And I learned something about Uncle Harvey that afternoon. He was an absolute captain of checkers. Had no idea. And you know, I was like watching him and the older guys play checkers, and I did not know checkers was just under a contact sport. I mean, those guys, they play checkers, and you ever see that TV thing about people playing checkers, and you have the one person that goes chit 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 all the way down the board?
Yeah.
Harvey did it on a guy. I said, and that's what made me.
I didn't know it was possible.
I didn't. I thought it was a TV gag. And he absolutely did it and wiped the guy off the board about 5 pieces.
It reminds me of Little Dogs on a Prairie.
Takes him off and says, "Crown me," and I was like, okay, I'm not playing him. That's no.
Right. I'm good. I don't want to be whooped. It's fine.
Not like that. That's public humiliation.
Right.
That's not being whooped.
It just reminds me of Little Dogs on the Prairie. They're sitting there and they're like, king me. This is checkers. Oh, well, in that case, don't crown me.
Crown me.
You lost either way.
That's sad when you chess and checkers. Anyway,
hey, same board, man.
Yeah. Can be. Anyway, and so I learned about that. I learned about the other people that were willing to celebrate that graduation. There were 2 graduates that year, and how they were people stood out in the rain to play volleyball because they were going to stay there. And the other ones, I mean, you just brought back that memory of Uncle Harvey. I had forgotten all about that checker part. And but you're 9 years old and you're just learning that. And then to hear the other guy laugh. Nobody got mad. They laughed. You know, that was a good one, man. I didn't see that. He's you moved it and you left yourself wide open there. And he's like, well, I deserved it, you know. And 2 old guys just going at it with checkers, and yet both laughing the whole time. Well, I suppose I'll go get me another cup of coffee, you know.
Maybe another one of those pinto bean pie pieces.
No, it wasn't the same. That was not the same. Notice I was 9 years old and I was a teenager in the other one. So, no, not the same ones. But the fellowship that was going on at those places, and to get to learn all of those are sitting down over a meal. Or the other, well, it was the same one with the pinto bean pies. Big Ernie, he brought in strawberries mixed in with rhubarb.
Ooh.
And
I hate rhubarb.
Have you ever seen strawberries mixed with rhubarb? Okay, so you know what it looks like. And it had been done down. His wife, she was my Emily Highlander, and she was my my Sunday school teacher. Anyway, this is when I was a teenager. And so Ernie wanted to impress me, and he took the lid off of that. It was chilled. It was already sweating on the outside of the bowl, and he picks it up. And if anybody knows what rhubarb and strawberries mixed together look like, and as he dipped it up, he said, "Ooh, look, elephant snot."
Sounds about right.
That's what it looked like.
Why elephant?
Because it was huge.
Fair enough.
You could have used any big animal at that point. And he just laughed, but I want to tell you what, that elephant snot was good.
I do not like strawberry rhubarb.
I
don't like rhubarb in general.
Yeah, all the strawberries sweetened it up. And of course, I probably had a pound of sugar in it, the way that Miss Emily made things back then. Yeah, it was great. See, those interactions, fellowship that you end up having. Let me go a different direction and talk about, I had left that church to go do work as a youth pastor at another church, but somebody gave me a telephone call and said, "Hey, haven't seen you in a long time. We're getting together and having a dinner. Would you come and just come in and say hi to everybody? People haven't seen you for years." And I was still in the same area, but Cincinnati is a big area, and I was actually over in northern Kentucky working with this church, and And I'm like, sure, I'll do that. And so I just stopped in to say hi. I was working, didn't have a lot to do. I found a hat that I had in my car. My hair was a mess. And so I put a hat on just to go in, spend about 10 minutes and say hi to a lot of those people that went way back then. So you had me when I was 9 years old, teens. I'm in my early 20s.
Wow.
Okay. And so these people are getting a lot of, there's people that are gone. You know, they're just gone.
Yeah.
Some have passed, some had moved away. In fact, Big Ernie was not there. He had moved away. He was down in Falmouth, Kentucky, and was attending the church down there, and his boys and stuff like that. So, and so I walked in and had this hat on, and I personally was a mess, a sweaty mess, because I just from working, and I was nearby where they were going, and just dropped in to say hi. And as I was doing that, making the rounds and saying hi to people I had known, some of them had changed my diaper. That's a humbling thought when you realize that.
Right.
Okay. And I'm saying hi to them and so forth when one of the guys in the church came up to me, put his arm around me and said, if you'd be a gentleman, you'd take your hat off. Now, I bring up that story because really quick, I just want to say, do you think we were fellowshipping?
No.
This is my best way to try to give it. The meal was there. The people were there. I just stopped in. I wanted to say hi and see them and anybody that wanted to say hi to me. And I was going to be disappearing. And I'm sure this fella didn't even know that I knew. He had no idea I was going to be showing up. Okay. And so as I was making my rounds, I got 2 or 3 ladies that are at this place that were my Sunday school teachers when I was a kid, and they're still there. Pearl Warman was one of them. Janice was one of them.
You always had that favorite.
Ruth Stoops was there. And not only was she a Sunday school teacher, but after I became a teenager, I was her assistant teacher. And once a month, she would allow me to actually teach the Sunday school class. And that she had 4th graders, you know. And it was like, wow. And she gave me that opportunity. And I could just start rattling off all these names of people who really, really meant something to me. And that's when this fella came up beside me and said, you know, if you were a gentleman, you'd take that hat off. And
knowing you and me being a byproduct of you, it just rankles you. And you just look at you and go, like,
I'm 20.
Gonna do what I darn well please.
I'm 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to cover up bad hair, and I am going to be gone. And I want to say hi to people that I love and then just be gone. People I hadn't seen in 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And that's what he had to say.
The memory, yeah.
You know, if you were a gentleman, you take that hat off.
To him, it was, I'm going to show this young whippersnapper what's for. Teach him a lesson.
That's exactly what it was about. You are under my thumb.
Yeah.
Which means he wasn't even glad to see me.
He wasn't.
That was the one of the.
He wasn't there for fellowship in the first place.
That was one of the other problems that really bothered me. He wasn't there. Now, this is inside a church. This is at a church meal. The meal was out. I didn't have a plate. I wasn't going to eat. Didn't get a plate of food. I got asked. Oh my! Everybody there. Oh, Eric, grab a plate. Sit down. No, I was saying. No, I just come by to say hi to you guys. I heard that you were here, and I really have to go. But I just wanted to say hi to you because I love them. So without the food, I was having fellowship. Here's a guy that is with them, having the food in the group. He's part of them now. And if he's saying that to me, do you really think he was having fellowship with that group of people?
No.
So this is the best way that I can describe and start talking about what fellowship is by these two scenarios that are here. When I was a younger kid, this is the way the church used to have fellowship. Here I am, I haven't seen these folks, and I just want to come back and do some encouragement and so forth, and there's no fellowship.
Not from him.
Not from him. Okay? By the way, let me show you how important fellowship is. That church no longer exists. Would you care to understand why?
Because the people that started influencing it the most weren't there for fellowship. I don't...
It has to have a role in it somewhere.
Probably.
It may not be the main thing,
But it's definitely...
but it's a symptom.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. When a church is more about...
You know, I just thought I started crunching ice, and I am sorry if I did that in everybody's ear. I forgot all about a microphone and recording. That's how into this I am. I am so sorry.
Oh my goodness.
Please forgive me.
Well, we'll have to see what they say in the comments.
Yes. Comment down below. Oh man, I am so sorry. That was so rude of me. I don't what I was thinking. Anyway,
I'm so used to it. I don't think twice about it either. Oh my goodness.
yeah, it's one thing to take a drink. It's another thing to start crunching ice.
But it's so important when churches just get together for appearances. It's not really in fellowship. And well, there's some verses in the NLT.
All right, let's go to those verses.
And I think it is specifically...
So that we can officially call this a Bible study.
Which one was it? I guess 2 Corinthians 13:4? No. Philippians 2. In Philippians 2.
Okay, what version? Because if people...
NLT.
This is NLT, because the different versions will take the word... fellowship and probably convert them into other words. So this is what we're doing. We're looking in the NLT. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So Philippians 2. Nope, wrong thing. This thing. There we go.
That ting right there.
Oh, shut up. Have the attitude of Christ. Is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from his love?
Where are you reading?
Right here. Right here.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You know, I thought reading that, and that just, I'm like, is that what you're reading? That didn't sound the same. Go ahead, do it again. I'm so sorry.
You're good. You're good. Okay. Is there any encouragement from belonging to Christ? Any comfort from his love? Any fellowship together in the Spirit? Are your hearts tender and compassionate? Then make me truly happy by agreeing wholeheartedly with each other, loving one another, and working together with one mind and purpose. I don't know how far you want me to go.
However far that you're the one that brought it up, so.
Oh, well, I mean, we can do to 3.
Okay.
To 4. Sorry, to 4. Don't be selfish. Don't try to impress others. Be humble, thinking of others as better than yourself. Don't look out only for your own interests, but take an interest in others too. I mean, yeah, straight up, if you're going to talk about fellowship, you have to take an interest in somebody else to be able to put your heart into
well, is this
understanding them on a deeper level.
Is this not love your neighbor as yourself?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Okay.
So, when it comes into that, and that's really a good definition of fellowship. Is there, any that need encouragement? Do you need that kind of thing, camaraderie, closeness? That thing that I'm going to do while I'm in that group is to fellowship with you. How could I possibly find camaraderie with you if I don't know who you are? If I learn a little bit about your past, then I know different things that might affect you. I might know different things that might bring a smile to your face, like pinto bean pie. Or
Oh,
if
my
you
goodness.
really love pecan pie, and it's like, I didn't put no. She did that to me one time. She knew from that. By the way, she learned about me.
Yeah.
And from that, I can remember that one time she made me a pecan pie. And when she gave it to me, she looked at me and she goes, "I didn't put any pinto beans in it." And by the way, this is a couple of years later that happened.
Callback.
That she gave. Oh, callback.
Oh, my goodness.
Was hilarious.
Dude.
And it was rich. And in the middle of all of that, we were having fellowship.
Oh my goodness, the blankets.
Blankets? Go ahead.
The gag gift.
The gag gift
Christmas
game. And the day that everybody came in with blankets.
because it's Christmas and it was a really
Well-
cold Christmas,
well,
and every
Walmart-
single blanket.
Walmart was running a deep special on them.
Oh my goodness! The best part though is that one family went home with all of the blankets, and we
A
don't know
family of
how.
5 went home, and 5 people ended up bringing blankets, and they got them all.
All of them.
They got them all.
And we're sitting there.
And there
everyone,
might have even been more than 5.
I don't think there was more than 5.
But they got them all. That was
At
the
least
thing.
all of the gifts that they chose, all of them were blankets. And the funniest one is that there was a couple of really pretty nice blankets that kept getting tossed around, and suddenly one of the siblings would get up, take their other sister's blanket or brother's blanket, and they'd get up and then go take the blanket that just got taken away from them back. And it's like,
It was
Oh my
funny.
goodness.
You'd have to know how the game is played, so that's part of it. But
It's
that family walked out with all the blankets, however many there were. They had them.
and the sweetest thing is that the kids, so my nieces, they go to church with us all year round because they live in the area. Let's put it that way, as opposed to the 5 that just came.
Which now live in the area.
Yeah.
Or are trying
They're
to,
getting
going
there.
to.
They're
Hey,
getting there.
folks, pray for us on that. They're living with their in-laws,
Well,
his in-laws,
Yeah, her.
and
her
which
parents.
happened to go to my church. By the way, I love them. But it's making for tight quarters,
Yeah.
and they're also looking for houses. And there's one that they're setting their heart on. And it seems it would fit if you just pray for them.
Yeah.
And even though we seem to have the right one, please pray for God's will to
Yeah.
be done, that they will get the correct house for them. So
Even if it is a little far away, it still needs to be what God.
right, I
wants
would love for them to get the one that they have their hearts on, but still God's will is what
Is it the
best.
one just down the road from them, or just down the road from us? Because if it was down the road from us, that'd be really nice.
No, it's not down the road from us, but it's actually in between
Yeah.
both of our places.
Regardless, it would just be really nice for them to be in the area.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, really, really would.
But the faster they move with however God's timing is, it's the nicer it would be. I was getting ready to say something. No, I don't. Oh yeah, all the ladies that just suddenly step in and all give them just each their own gifts. We don't ask them to give the gifts, but they're all like, "Ooh, we want to get the girls these gifts."
Yeah, we saw this and we thought it'd be good for her, and we saw
my
this and
goodness.
we thought it'd be good
The
for her.
funniest one is
Yeah.
that we have 3 separate ladies that all like to do that for them, and none of them talk to each other. Yet all 3 of them somehow get 3 very different gifts for them,
Yeah.
and the girls are relishing in it. It's the funniest thing ever.
So, you hear about PK kids, and of course,
Oh.
Kay's a PK kid.
I was
These
gonna
are
tell
the
another story.
PK grandkids.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems
Well,
that
no, they're PK grandkids to you, but their dad is also technically the
yeah, but the church
Junior
the
pastor.
church has looked at them as the PK grandkids, and just like the PK kids, they love doting on the PK grandkids. So
it's really nice.
I do want to make sure that the other kids, and there is one other one, get doted on a little bit too.
They do. They make sure. They
Yeah.
make sure to do it with her as well. Any of the kids in the church, they love to do it because they're
All
always
right,
like,
so you're
"How many kids
going-
are going to be there?" So I was going to say, you and Mom were gone, and it was a Sunday that we were having a meal. I don't know why, but they were all there, and I was the only one here to help curate it and get everything together.
Well, that's just weird, Nod, that we wouldn't be there for a meal.
It was 3 years ago. I don't remember what was going on.
All right.
I think what it was is the time that you went to go get Ben.
Okay.
And them, and it was just right over that time
Well, you do know we got a church picnic coming up.
I know, I'm excited.
For everybody that's listening, church picnic coming up. Let us know if you want to come in.
Yeah. I can't.
It's a great time.
This is also in relation to the sermon that you had a while ago, and I can't remember which sermon. It's just that it fit really wonderfully. Oh no, last episode they were talking about older people coming in and trying to do it their way. And I was going to use the thing whereas at the first church I was growing up, and some of the ladies that are in this church watched me grow up, and I'm specifically thinking of the two, and they were never any of the ones that would baby me or try and do something. No, it was absolutely wonderful. I was left on my own to try and do all of this. And they ended up, I don't know, by the grace of God, they ended up patching and bringing from their own stuff things that I forgot completely. And they're like, oh, I just kind of threw it in there because I didn't know if we had it or not. Like salt and pepper, something as simple as that. Extra napkins, those little things that just get lost in the overarching theme of putting a meal together. And then they brought in their own stuff, and and it was so nice. And they didn't say it being like, oh well, hey, because you're young and you don't know how to do this. It's no, well, it's your first time doing it, and we all forget these things, so I thought might as well bring extra just to be helped, just in case. And it was so nice, and I'm sitting there, and it's like, girl, my ladies, I want to cry so much. It was.
Well, you really do that nice. A lot anyway, so. Okay.
It's sometimes there's like weeks where it's like I'm just crying all the time, and other times it's like nope, not today, not a drop,
not today.
But it was so nice, and in those moments of fellowship, I wasn't made to feel inferior. In fact, they came next to me, and we all did it together, and it's absolutely wonderful. And anytime Mom or you are gone, they don't have to step up; they're just doing it. It's not like it's an extra thing. It's just what they just stuff that naturally comes along, and it's really nice, especially since you were talking about people that could have changed my diapers, and Miss Jean is one of them. She may not have changed my diapers, but she definitely watched me and babysat me quite a bit over the years, and yeah, it's little things like those. And do you want to know the crazy thing? Is those ladies that we fellowshipped with the most at the old church are still the ones that are prevalent here fellowshipping with us at this church. And so it may not be the exact cause, but it's definitely one of the staying powers, holding powers, different things.
Fellowship is
so important.
So when our church comes together,
it's a hoot.
It's a hoot.
Did you hear
every Sunday?
Ted?
And one of the things that we do, hold on to that thought.
Okay.
One of the things that we do every Sunday in our church is make time and room for fellowship.
Yeah.
That's actually
before and after.
That's actually a thing that we do.
Oh my gosh.
Go ahead, Ted.
You said that you ended up missing the latter half of the sermon, so I guess you didn't hear, but close to the end of it, Ben looked over and looked at Abby and went, "Hey, sweetheart, could you go grab me my Bible shelf for me?" Because he was at the end of the sermon. We went into the prayer and praise time.
Yeah. No,
and Ted
didn't hear it.
Ted immediately got up and went, "That thing? Oh, here, is this the thing you want?" He goes, "Thanks, sweetheart. Thank you for it." And he goes, "Yeah, anytime, Ben." And this man, it was so funny. And everyone is sitting there just laughing.
That is great. That is great.
Oh my goodness. It was great. And Ralph got in this Sunday.
Ralph. Oh, so Ralph was there?
Ralph is in this Sunday. It was really fun to see him.
I'll get this wrong, but he is letting everybody know from New Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, and
Because it's like either New Mexico or Arizona. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
he's New Mexico.
He's Southwest.
He is Miss Sharon's cousin, and last year when they had a funeral, and they came in visiting for family, he ended up coming to our church, and he has for last year he ended up staying for the rest of the summer until it started getting cold. And then
to him,
yeah, he's like, I can't do cold. He can't do anything cold. So then he goes back home, and then now that it's warmer up here, he's come back, and he said he's gonna be staying for about till September.
No,
so
that's about how long he stayed last time. Yeah,
so he's here. It's really fun that
because
he's
at
been able
our
to
90
come.
degrees, it's cooler than his 117.
Yes, yes, it is. Of course, the humidity doesn't help anything.
No. I had somebody try to convince me about how our 90 is hotter than the 117 down in the desert, and the humidity. It doesn't feel that hot. It's just that this humidity makes you sweat. I'm like, right. The reason why 117 doesn't make you feel like you're sweating, because it's so hot and dry. It's evaporating.
That fast. Oh my goodness!
And that's way more dangerous than the other.
One may feel worse, but one's way
more
deadlier.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Oh my goodness!
Anyway, so the fellowship that we're talking about. So we got to make sure that when we talk about this term fellowship, that we are comparing apples to apples.
Mm-hmm.
Because we know that a fellowship can be in an academic situation. So you can have gentlemen who are fellows, who are a part of a fellowship of an academia, and that fellowship can also work with grants and other things like that. We realize that fellowship can be used in a way where it refers to a group of those people over there belong to the covenant fellowship. There you go. That's referring to a group. Then you can have fellowship be camaraderie, friendship, and that can really take on some different forms, but that's the meaning that it did. We tried to show to you the two different ways that when we talk about fellowship, that it's in a positive way. And we tried to make sure that we could illustrate that by showing a time that I had a guy that was around food, was around all that other kinds of stuff that we do.
He was around people fellowshipping.
He was around people that was supposed to be fellowshipping, but he couldn't. There was nothing encouraging. There was no camaraderie. There was, hey, I'm the authority here, and I want you to do what I tell you to do. And no camaraderie in that. And especially talking to a 20-year-old who is, an adult and doing his thing at the time. So it can happen either way. And then what we have tried in our conversation is to show you how important that fellowship is for the body of Christ.
I'm going to bring it back to the Bible.
Please do.
I'm going through as you're speaking, and you say, oh, fellowship. Yes, fellowship. Well, very few times do they say or use fellowship in the New Testament, at least in the King James Version.
Okay.
In the King James Version, there's a total of 17 uses of fellowship through it. Obviously, the majority of them all start from Acts, then go through to 1 John.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the two that the KJV uses in the Old Testament, and they're two very different Hebrew words.
Very good.
My bad. Everything that I've seen in the New Testament, we'll just take the Acts one, find it. So let me bring this over with what I'm doing. So we'll find out together.
All right. So we're going to do a little Bible smithing in the words, right?
Yes.
Little etymology work.
Here we go.
Spade.
So in Acts 2:42, and they continued steadfast. And I don't know if this is going to go any better.
Your problem too, huh?
I don't do King James.
All right.
And fellowship. See, fellowship is in there, right? It's right here. And if we find fellowship, it is the same one that the Greek gave us.
Yeah, koinonia.
I mean, Google gave us to show the Greek. So let's find out how to actually say it. Where is it? Come on. There we go.
Strong's G 2842. Koinonia.
Hey!
Koinonia.
Pretty good.
You thought I was leading you astray, did you?
No, I just figured that the enunciation would be slightly different. Anyway, and so for all of the that, but
Okay. And so how it's used in a sentence is going to tell you whether or not you're talking about fellowship, friendship, camaraderie, or if you're talking about a group or an association. If I say that you and I are going to be associated, then we would be a part of a fellowship.
Yes.
Might have a ring, it might not have a ring.
Well, I have a ring, but your ring that you...
Fellowship of the ring.
Shut up. We're not going there. Okay, I already got those jokes out in my head.
Okay, well, anyway, but that's what that means. That's an association or a community. But if
they had one like-minded goal.
I was to say that, our band got together and, man, we had great fellowship the other night. It's very encouraging. That's camaraderie, friendship, that kind of thing that's going on there.
The bird snuck in the house.
How it's used in a sentence that tells us, which it means. Is it the group or is it the friendship that goes along with it?
Right.
But that friendship becomes very, very important because, again, that's what we're told in two of the greatest commandments. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind. The two are the greatest commandment in one, and love your neighbor as yourself. If you're going to love your neighbor as yourself, you're going to have fellowship with your neighbor.
Yeah.
Okay, that word, you're going to have friendship, you're going to have camaraderie. These are all the things that we all crave individually. The depth of it and so forth will vary from person to person, but it's going to be positive. It's going to be something that is heartfelt and something that you enjoyed. Loving your neighbors as yourself is a part of the fellowship.
Right. So in the Old Testament, when they use the Hebrew, the two ones in the KJV specifically, so in the NLT, they use fellowship more. But going through the Blue Letter Bible, you do not get the Greek to, sorry, not the Greek, my bad. The Hebrew to the King James, and then the King James to the fellowship. No, when they give the reference, they always give the reference between the King James Version and then the Hebrew along with it. So if you're going to look up a specific word, you look it up in the KJV version, because when you go from NLT then to KJV then to Hebrew, it gets a bit confusing.
Yeah, sure.
So
totally understand.
In Leviticus 6:2, the KJV uses the word fellowship.
Okay.
If a soul sin and commit a trespass against, against the Lord, and lie unto his neighbor in that which was delivered him to keep, or in fellowship, or in a thing taken away by violence, or hath deceived his neighbor. If you go here and find fellowship, it is this H8667.
Okay, in Strong's.
Mm-hmm.
H standing for Hebrew.
Yeah.
Strong's H 8667. Tesumeth. Tesumeth.
I don't know why I was getting tooth out of that. I need help.
Okay.
Tesumeth. It means pledge or security or deposit. Very much so not the fellowship what we're talking about.
Well, yes and no.
I said not quite.
Not quite. There's an element in there, but no, it's not 100% the same, and that has its problems.
Mm-hmm.
But when you pledge something to somebody, you do so because you have a friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you have a fellowship, something that is just deeper than a hi, bye
Yeah, right.
kind of relationship that you have with somebody. And so therefore you're able to make a pledge. If you an oath, something that you have given in that nature, and it can be seen as well, it's more than it can be seen, is to be understood to be positive
Ha!
and to be a friendship is why you do that. You're loyal.
Hey.
There would be another word to throw in there.
So let's
loyalty.
I was gonna say, let's read it in the NLT to help understand a
Sure.
little bit more. So sins requiring a guilt offering. So suppose one of you sin against your associate and is unfaithful to the Lord. Suppose you cheat in a deal involving a security deposit, or you steal or commit fraud.
Okay, keep going though. I
Oh.
want to hear.
Okay. Or if you find lost property and lie about it, or you lie while swearing to tell the truth, or you commit any other such sin. If you have sinned in any of these ways, you are guilty. You must give back whatever you stole, or the money you took by extortion, or the security deposit, or the lost property you found, or anything obtained by swearing falsely. You must make restitution by paying the full price plus an additional 20% to the person you have harmed. On the same day, you must present a guilt offering.
Now let me ask you this question. If you could steal, if you could hurt, if you could not make the deposit that you were supposed to be loyal to do, if you did not keep your vow, and so are you in fellowship with that person?
Oh gosh, no. It's like the
See how
exact-
that
it's-
works?
Yeah, it's the exact opposite.
Correct. I mean, you're conniving and scheming and and you're guilty of it. I mean, so basically the bottom line, so you can see how they use the word fellowship, right?
Yeah, I could totally see that. It's like it's the anti-fellowship.
Yeah,
Package.
absolutely. So you are not in fellowship if you do these things. Because fellowship, again, is supposed to be that positive attitude, that positive thing, that positive relationship that you have with somebody. And I just brought out the other word, loyal. There is a thinking of loyalty that is involved. There is a thinking of friendship. Well, last time I knew, a friend doesn't tell a friend, or a friend doesn't steal from a friend.
Right.
Okay. And when it comes to loyalty, a friend doesn't steal with friend. Loyalty, all those are positive characteristics, not negative. So when you hear me talk about the fellow who says remove your hat, and what he wants to do is exercise his authority over me while I'm there, would you call that loyalty, friendship, anything like that? It sure seems to me that all of that stuff is called not
anti-fellowship.
Anti.
Okay, can't
fellowship.
think of the word.
Yeah.
So the only other place in the KJV that it says is Psalms 94:20, and it is a completely different. I keep wanting to say Greek, and it is not Greek. It's
No.
a completely different Hebrew word. So in
All
Psalms
right.
94:20,
Bring that one over.
shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law?
All right.
So when we come to, and it's have fellowship with thee, is the full phrase, and it is that, which I will let him pronounce since I don't speak Hebrew.
Kabar.
Chabar.
Okay.
Strong's
I
H
guess.
2266. Chaver.
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 Oh, okay. I was off a little bit, but so coming down to the biblical outline, biblical usage is to unite, join, bind together, be joined, be coupled, be in a league, heap up, have fellowship with, or be compact, be a charmer. It's very interesting. To unite, be joined. That one's interesting. Well, it is a complete phrase. To be allied with, to be united. So, I mean, it's very interesting. So let's read it in the NLT, since I am very rusty on my KJV of
Okay.
Old King James English, which I've never liked. Anyway, so can unjust leaders claim that God is on their side? Leaders whose decrees permit injustice? Ooh, so they really are talking about the fellowship of being in not camaraderie, not quite camaraderie, but in a
Well, there's going to be camaraderie and friendship.
yeah, but in a what's the college one? Oh my goodness, he is a fellow of the thing. He's a fellow.
Oh yeah, that's
He's
a
a fellow
fellow
in God's Legion. No, anyway.
No, that's a group of people that study common subject matters and become doctors or very
Okay.
specific in
So
those
maybe not
subject
that
matters.
quite that one.
They're a fellow.
But very much so. I guess it would be a similar fellowship to the Greek one. It sounds similar to.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, here's the reason for King James using fellowship
Yeah.
is because, let me ask you, does any one of those things in the NLT sound like somebody who's in fellowship?
Rephrase that.
Can unjust leaders claim
there you
that
go.
God is on their side? Leaders whose decree permit injustice.
Or I guess you could also say, can unjust leaders claim that they are in fellowship with God?
Can they?
No,
No.
they can't.
Unjust or permitting injustice.
It's
Are you in
exactly the
fellowship?
opposite of God,
Right.
yeah.
All of those things are exactly the opposite. But let's be honest, you get to modern English. Does that read the same way as the King James? And the answer is no. We don't think of the words as being the same. We don't think of loyalty, camaraderie,
Like-mindedness.
friendship, like-mindedness. I'll tell you one that we use nowadays that goes with fellowship, and that is team play. There needs to be an element of fellowship in order for there to be team play. I've played on enough teams in basketball that I had people that were jealous, people that did other things of me, coaches that behind my back made fun of me. And when a coach will cut you down, then how do the other players, or do you think any of the other players are loyal to you and anything else? Here's another thing that happened in a team situation to me. Should have never have happened. Coach should have never allowed it. But it started with me, and I didn't even mean to do it. I just said something off the cuff about how bad the favoritism was going on the team. And wherever you have favoritism, tell me, do you think you have fellowship?
No.
See, there's another word. I never thought about that one. So in a sports sense, favoritism, no fellowship. One of the things that we have with a lot of sports teams nowadays, you think everybody on the team is are friends, are loyal to each other. No, they're loyal to a paycheck. And then we wonder why those particular teams don't do well. But anyway, I said off the cuff, a lot of favoritism going on. Well, shoot, our coach, he doesn't know how to coach basketball. I can take the second string and beat the first team.
Oh yeah,
And
then
I was-
proceeded to do it.
And I was on the second string. And so he heard that, and one day we were at practice it was during the Christmas break, so we got about 6 days of practice where we had no games, nothing to interrupt it. We could just go, and have practice like if it was in the beginning of the season, before the season started. And he looks at me and he goes, "Well, Hambrock, I heard that you could take the second string and beat the first team with it. So go ahead. That's what we're going to do. We're going to have 20-minute quarters. We'll play 4 of them, and we'll see what happens." Like, dummy me. Instead of saying I should not be a part of this, I said,
Game on.
"Okay." What do you do? You're 14.
And you're right.
And I firmly believe in my heart that I'm right. And so
You were right.
I was right. We were winning by 25, 26 points going into the fourth quarter. of it, and the other team, as the clock was winding down, the A team could see that that they were getting smoked pretty bad. There was no way they were going to catch up, and that's when one of the players got mad, and as one of my other guard went down the other end, I got the rebound, boom, threw it out in front of me. He picked up the ball and was getting ready to go for a layup, and the guy just tackled him.
You took him dirty.
Yeah, and fight broke out. And do you think that team had fellowship? No, we didn't. It was them and us, and that's not a team.
And
when
the
there's
coach fostered it.
well, and I did too, but
Well, the coach
I'll
fostered
give
it
me
intentionally.
I will give me this, and that is I was a kid. I did something very immature, and I was not old enough to know what the mature thing was. He gave me the opportunity, and it's like, yeah, I'll do it. Instead, he should have talked to us, and of course, number one, that means that he needed to stop doing the favoritism. And number two, to be able to get through to us and to say, hey, this isn't
right.
This is not right. This is not a team, and this is not how a team behaves. And notice, so we say that with a team, when you go to have camaraderie, it's a team sport. When you go to have this kind of fellowship, friendship, loyalty, neighborly, all these words that we throw
Trust.
at this. Trust has to be an element that's in there. All of this stuff is a team thing that is reciprocated from one person to another. One of the main psychological reasons why, as Christians, we should go to church. We've already dealt with this, but it's a team thing. You want that encouragement. You want those people around you. Well, then you've got to go to where those people are.
That's why it's so important to find the right people, the right church, because you need the fellowship. Fellowship makes not just lasting memories, but lasting impacts on your life that change how you see things.
Absolutely.
The way that you do things. It's so important, and people and here's the biggest thing. We haven't said fully everything that's anti-fellowship, but the biggest thing that's anti-fellowship is as soon as somebody starts talking about someone who's not here and it's not in a positive light.
Again, back to this positive issue.
Yeah.
And doesn't the Bible
That's just gossip.
doesn't the Bible
You
talk
good?
to us? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
got a hold of something there.
Okay.
Doesn't the Bible talk to us a little bit about that we should be encouraging to each other? Ephesians 3:34 through 3:32 is coming to my mind. Be ye kind-hearted one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another. Jesus.
No, there's no 30 verses in Ephesians 4.
Okay, can you take those words and
Oh,
look it up
That's
for me?
Sorry, I'm in Ephesians 3. Never mind. Let me look at Ephesians 4.
No,
My
I
bad.
thought it was in Ephesians 3, but
Okay, it's not in 4 either. So what's
Yeah.
the phrase?
be ye kind-hearted one to another. King James, of course. That's how I memorized it.
Be ye kind hearted to
One to another.
fine. One to another. There we go.
Did it come up?
Ephesians 4:32.
Ha!
So I'm in the NLT, so that's not what it says.
Right. But
Oh, there
can
we
you?
go. Instead, be kind to each other, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, through Christ, has forgiven you.
Yeah, let's look at that whole scripture section. And again, this goes back to what are the two greatest commandments? Well, love God, love each other. Oh, have we been here once before?
Considering how it's all
Highlighted?
highlighted.
Yeah.
Let's give it a new color. What color should I give it?
Oh, go blue.
Yeah, okay. Doot. Okay. Here we go. Fresh.
Yeah.
Living as children of light.
Oh my goodness. So we already started off that if you're going to live as light, this is how you're going to do it. Okay. I mean,
Excuse me.
what God has for us. Go ahead.
Yeah, of course. With the Lord's authority, I say this: live no longer as the Gentiles do, for they are hopelessly confused.
Ooh.
I feel so attacked right now. You're not wrong. Their minds are full of darkness. They wander far from the life God gives, because they have closed their minds and hardened their hearts against him. They have no sense of shame. They live for lustful pleasures and eagerly practice every kind of impurity. Ouch. But that isn't what you learned about Christ. Since you have heard about Jesus and have learned the truth that comes from him, throw off your old sinful nature and your former way of life, which is corrupted by lust and deception. Instead, let the Spirit renew your thoughts and attitudes. Put on your new nature, created to be like God, truly righteous and holy. So stop telling lies. Let us tell our neighbors the truth, for we are all parts of the same body. Oh, look, neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
And don't sin by letting anger control you. Don't let the sun go down while you're still angry.
Anger tears up fellowship.
For anger gives a foothold to the devil. I think that's the funniest thing is they quote this, the Ephesians 4:26. And it's like, don't let the sun, the Lord say, don't let the sun go down while you're still angry. So this is me at 3 a.m. sitting up in bed trying to get over it. If you are a thief, quit stealing. Instead, use your hands for good, hard work.
Remember, how do you have fellowship as the ones, koinonia? How do you have fellowship if you're stealing from someone?
Yeah.
Can't have fellowship with them.
Yeah. But I thought that was Leviticus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which was not, that was the tooth one. That I did not, to soothe. I can't remember now, but it was the Hebrew word.
To someth.
To someth. There you go. If you are, and then give generously to others in need. Don't use foul or abusive language. Let everything you say be good and helpful, so that your words will be an encouragement.
There it is.
Encouragement to those who hear them.
Mm-hmm.
And do not bring sorrow to God's Holy Spirit. By the way you live, remember he has identified you as his own. Ooh, that means together in camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
Guaranteeing that you will be saved on the day of redemption. Get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, gossip, slander.
Things that tear apart the fellowship.
Tearing people down,
Mm-hmm.
as well as all types of evil behavior. Instead, be kind to one another. Ooh, mean lifting them up. Tender-hearted, forgiving one another. And it's okay, it's just an accident. You don't have to worry about accidentally spilling your entire cup of scalding coffee on me. It was an accident. It wasn't on purpose. Just as God through Christ has forgiven you.
Mm-hmm. So if God took the time to forgive you, you are to take the time to forgive others and to live out that fellowship that is put together in the body of Christ. So now, more and more, how important is this issue of fellowship coming, that we build each other up? Where are you going to practice this kind of fellowship if you do not come to the body of Christ and practice it there?
I've seen, especially recently, that fellowship has been attacked more and more. The camaraderie and understanding of like-mindedness. Because everything in this world is so, decisive would be the word I'm looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And it's even as simple as someone who was, she ended up posting a video, and they're like, oh, you can't be a Christian, you ended up doing porn. And she's like, yeah, well, John 3:16. And so many people are like, yeah, that's not how that works. And a lady came on, and she's really been going at, not going after, but proving people on multiple different fronts through very much the scripture specifically. And she goes, you have been made a new creation. You have been made new in Christ. And her bottom line was, if you say that her sin was too much for God to forgive, then you and your sin is too much for God to forgive. You're on the same level. It's not one or the other. If you're saying that that person is too far gone for God to forgive, then so are you. It's even playing ground. And all of these people who were supposedly Christian were ganging up on her, and a direct attack against fellowship and people who were supposed to come together and look at her and go, God freed you from your bondage of sin and what you've done, and some of the hardest out there. And I mean, all of it's hard, really it is. But in terms of humanistic terms,
not humanistic, just human.
Human terms, some are harder than others, and she's been freed from them, and it is incredible. And she's talking about her testimony. You should look at her and go, oh, amen, congratulations, wow, you've done it. God has done it through you, and in awesome, lifting her up in fellowship. Instead, the enemy is using people's opinions against
jealousy.
I want to have you under my thumb because I feel guilty about you putting your hardships and testimony out there, and I'm a lukewarm nominal Christian.
Okay.
And because of that anger, the devil has the foothold to use you to tear other people down.
Yeah. Now, do you want to know? Well, here's what I found out years later.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say found out, but just thought it through, was praying it through. The reason why that guy treated me the way that he did when I walked in, and if you were a gentleman, you'd take your hat off.
Yeah.
Is because, catch this scene. So there's about 40, 50 people, nothing like as big as our church used to be, but that's what's there. But there's about 40.
It's still decent.
Somewhere between 40 and 50 people.
It's still really decent.
They're having this dinner. I haven't been around for 3 years.
You said 4 or 5.
3, 4.
Okay.
I
We'll just settle
left
on
when
4.
I was 7, 17, 18, 19, 20, 20. 4 or 5. Okay, I'm back there. Okay, I didn't. Wow, I didn't
you did the
realize
math
that.
and then forgot the math.
Yeah. So anyway, I come walking in, and I'm bouncing around from table to table about people who are genuinely great to see me. Here's a guy who, now he didn't grow up in that church, but he'd been at that church now for probably the last 10, 12 years. And here he sees me going around from table to table, and I'm just a kid, and all these people, oh, Eric, okay. Somebody who used to be very active in the church, and now I'm doing a youth pastorate somewhere else, and have been for years. And for me to come walking in and to do that, do you know what hit that guy's heart?
Jealousy.
He was jealous.
Why don't I get that?
Right.
I've been here this entire time and they've been gone. It's the same kind of jealousy about the prodigal son. My dad
with the other brother. The
jealousy.
The other brother.
I've been here this entire time. Why aren't you as happy? And it's like, you're the one I can rely on. You're steadfast. Right.
You're here.
You're here.
And it's not that I wasn't steadfast. I had moved on. But and so in that part of the story, it's not the same. The return of the prodigal.
But it's the jealousy
the jealousy of the faithful servant. And why is he jealous of me? I'm going to be in and I'm going to be gone. Why couldn't he be glad that I was serving God somewhere else and glad to see me and see me out the door? But no, that's not the way it is.
His territory.
I did.
It's no longer the kingdom. It's no longer God's. He wanted it to be his.
Yep, absolutely. And that was a problem. And the other reason why is because he was a professor at the Bible college where I went.
Ooh.
And I no longer was going to that Bible college. I was full time at the major university at where we
Right.
were, and
It's all back to the, oh, that's them, this is us. But in a holier than thou attitude, then, well,
Right.
this is us because we've been called to be set apart, and wow, we feel really bad for you. Mm-hmm. And y'all need Jesus.
yeah. So there's
Not,
all of
we're
there's
better than
all
you.
of these things that are going on, and that jealousy, and just you know what, I have rule over you, and I'm going to use it. And he had none. Now, just to let everybody know, what did you do? Did you take the hat off? I did. Out of respect for him, whether he deserved it or not.
That's your heart.
Because something hit my heart that just said, you know what, he can go pound sand. I could care less. But then I thought, where's the tenderness in my heart?
Yeah.
So
That's what WWJD. Ooh, was just preaching to the kids about that.
yeah.
Take the hat off.
So yeah, now it's my time to show it.
WWJD. What would Jesus do?
Yeah.
Yeah, and most of the time it would be love your neighbors as yourself, and very few times would it be flip the tables and get the whip.
But it is rare. Now there are the times.
But it's there. Yeah,
It's there.
So.
There are the times. But most of the time, if we're honest, no, that's not the way to work it. And
Get some food, take a nap, you'll be fine.
yeah. So I just I slipped it off, and again, I was only there for about 5 more minutes. So what did it matter? So that's what I ended up doing. I think we can roll out this way.
Yeah.
Let's go and take a look back at the thing that sparred the question in 1 Corinthians chapter 5.
Yeah.
And so since we got an idea about fellowship, what fellowship is for, what it should do, let's read 1 Corinthians 5, and let's see what kind of fellowship are we talking about. And let's see, let's interpret it and try to read between the lines of what Paul is saying.
Okay.
So I'll let you do the reading.
I can hardly believe the report about the sexual immorality going on among you. Something that even pagans don't do.
That's a big ouch.
I am told that a man in your church is living in sin with his stepmother. You are so proud of yourselves, but you should be mourning and sorrow and shame. And you should remove this man from your fellowship.
Okay. There it is. All right.
Even though I am not with you in person, I am with you in the spirit. And as though I were there, I have already passed judgment on this man. In the name of the Lord Jesus, you must call a meeting of the church. I will be present with you in spirit, and so will the power of our Lord Jesus. Then you must throw this man out and hand him over to Satan, so that his sinful nature will be destroyed, and he himself will be saved on the day of the Lord's return. Your boasting about this is terrible. Oh, they're boasting about it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you realize that this sin is like a little yeast that spreads through the whole batch of dough? Get rid of the old yeast by removing this wicked person from among you. Then you will be like a fresh batch of dough made without yeast, which is what you really are. Christ, our Passover lamb, has been sacrificed for us, so let us celebrate the festival, not with the old bread of wickedness and evil, but with the new bread of sincerity and truth. Ooh, isn't that part of one of the descriptions with sincerity and truth?
Description of what?
I can't remember if it was the Hebrew one or the Greek one of fellowship. I don't remember which one had sincerity in it. And truth. When I wrote to you before, I told you not to associate with people who indulge in sexual sins.
Okay. Highlight that word, associate. Okay.
Right. With people who indulge in sexual sin. But I wasn't talking about unbelievers who indulge in sexual sin, or greedy or cheat people, or worship idols. You won't have to leave. You would have to leave this world to avoid people like that. I meant that you are not to associate with anyone who claims to be a believer, yet indulges in sexual sin, or is greedy, or worship idols, or is abusive, or is a drunkard, or cheats people. Don't even eat with such people.
Okay, so everything that we've talked about right then and there, he lists out all those kinds of things that you could say, well, if you're doing that, then you're not having fellowship with people. And notice it hits
anti-fellowship.
and notice it hits the food.
Yeah.
Do not eat with such people. Why? Because what's happening when you sit down to eat? What is the assumption when you see a group of people sit down eating and talking together? What are they doing?
Fellowshipping.
Right.
And it's not that they actually are, but it's the assumption.
It's the assumption.
So it's like the being tainted by association.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It isn't my responsibility to judge outsiders, but it is certainly your responsibility to judge those inside the church who are sinning. God will judge those on the outside, but as the scripture says, you must remove the evil person from among you.
Okay.
Guilty by association.
So guess what?
The bad
if
apple.
we were to take a look, what separates fellowship? What stops? What ceases fellowship? What separates people from having fellowship? Oh, you got rid of the words. They were right there.
Sorry. I was going to sin. Sin.
It's sin, but read them off. Indulges in.
Sexual sin, greedy, worships idols, is abusive, is a drunkard, cheats people.
Do not even eat with such people. It rattles those particular sins off, and notice that these are the people you don't want to eat with, you don't want to associate with. There's no fellowship here. So when people say they don't have to go to church,
especially they claim to be a believer.
Yes. So when people say they don't need to go to church, notice there's no fellowship. Well, you want to know why people who don't go to church, people go, well, I didn't know you were a Christian. I never see you at any churches. There's no association with godliness. Mm-hmm. Don't associate you with being a godly person. No. But I do associate you with greed, hate, lust. Lust wasn't mentioned in that one, but...
Well, sexual sins.
Oh, okay, sexual sins.
Which includes the whole gambit.
Yeah. So there, and I'm glad he did that. Sit there and write them all out, man.
That's just too much.
It is too much.
The letter would be
so
a
there
lot
you
longer.
go. You don't have fellowship with the church. People will say, I don't need to go to church to be a Christian. Don't want fellowship with the church. I would say it's because their deeds are evil.
Yeah.
You have people who are in church, but you know that there is a problem because they don't have fellowship with the rest of the church. Mm-hmm. And so you can see those people. Sometimes it's so thick you can cut it with a knife. It's like, what's going on here? Yeah, well, you got this problem over there. There's something in between. There's no fellowship between these people. There's no camaraderie. There's no friendship. There's no trust. There's no loyalty.
There's no sincerity.
I can't have you hand you a 20 and trust you to go down to the bank and make a deposit. And if anybody remembers what the definition in Hebrew is, that's the reason why I use that. Nope. There's no trust. I can't do it. And you want to know what? I wouldn't ask you. Because see, all these feelings, they do go both ways now. We need to remember that. And so all this friendship and all this kind of stuff gets tossed out the window. There is no fellowship. And when there is no fellowship, it feels like a lonely place. And guess what us humans will do? You'll go and find a place where there's a fellowship.
Oh, yeah.
And do you want to know something that I can honestly tell you will win people to your church? fellowship with them.
Oh, yeah.
It means you love them. It means you offer them trust. You offer them a safe place. You offer them your loyalty. You offer them your friendship, your camaraderie.
Sincerity.
Sincerity.
What's real?
All of this, and you open up and you go, well, there's the truth. Because that's the other thing that you offer along with it. You offer the truth of Jesus Christ. And when all of this is said and done, the beautiful part of everything that just happened is that you have given them fellowship. Now, if they fellowship in return, guess what will help lead them to the Lord? They will understand loyalty and bring loyalty back for loyalty. And if you're doing loyalty for loyalty, some of those things that you practice in sin, they go by the wayside because they bust up loyalty or they bust up camaraderie. I want to do things with you. I want to, you know what? I won't go to a place like that. Well, but I want your camaraderie. Well, I'm not going to go there. Well, then I'll quit going there because I'll be with you. I'd rather have the camaraderie than I would the freedom to do that, the freedom to go there. And I said the freedom to do that. So there may be something that you do. And the person, remember, you're not supposed to eat with people who claim to be Christians that are doing things that are not Christ-like. And, oh, man, we're doing this. And all of a sudden, boom, he's doing that. And you go, you know, maybe we'll just stop because I'm not supposed to sit down and even eat with people who do these kinds of. I won't do that. I would rather be with you, which, by the way, is an apostle because you're living out the life of Christ. I'd rather be with you than I would want to do that. And look at what you're doing with your testimony, your witness, with the fellowship that is satisfying their soul, because that is what makes them attracted to your church. They enjoy the fellowship. Right now, one of the most beautiful things that we have going on is that we've got a fella. And I know part of it's loneliness, but the other part is he actually enjoys, he loves, he will not leave until everybody else walks out that door because he enjoys the fellowship. And I will tell you, part of it is because he has a physical disability. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but we treat him as if he doesn't have one. We treat him normal. And he enjoys the fellowship, camaraderie, loyalty, whatever else neighborly, whatever. What else do you want to throw in on there?
The sincerity, the truth.
He enjoys it. He wants to be with us. That man will not walk out that door until we are ready to lock him. And all of it is because of that thing called fellowship. And I'm glad to fellowship with him. He's funny sometimes. He's a very quiet personality. But there are times.
He's hard of hearing, so he keeps his mouth shut so he doesn't stick his foot in his mouth.
But I enjoy him. I enjoy having him around. I don't care that he stays all that time. And this Sunday, we're supposed to be pretty hot. So you know what? We'll have plenty of water on, and who knows? We may spend the afternoon out there.
That would be nice.
It might be.
Oof,
might be.
It's supposed to break by then.
Yeah, supposed to.
Supposed to and do.
You trust the weatherman? Me and the weatherman are not fellowshipping. I just want you to know.
We are not in agreement, that's for sure. He's at least not in agreement with the weather he's supposed to be talking about. Anyway.
Yeah, that's just joking a little bit there.
Fellowship is so important. It leads to a deeper understanding because it is how we are supposed to reflect our relationship with Christ to each other as well.
All right.
And because it was something that we've been told by Christ to do, and he himself has given as an example, it is something that people should take more seriously. And not in the fact of, we need to do this because the Lord said it. It's we're doing this because, the Lord said it, and it's so much fun.
I think it's the main part of our church.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so
Oh, my
we
goodness.
worship and we talk and we do all that together.
In the middle of the sermon, oh, thanks, sweetheart.
Yeah, but
Okay, sit down now, Ted.
but at the very end, what a lot of people don't see is that we have a room when things are done. There's coffee. We don't do quite coffee and donuts because we got people.
It's-
Everybody's watching their sugar in some way, shape, or form.
And that's usually when when we really need to watch our sugar is when, like, 3 weeks in a row, they bring in a cake, they bring in donuts, they bring in cupcakes.
So they do the snack thing. So here's the lovely thing though. Go into that room and you can hear them laughing, chattering. 2 weeks ago we started late because when I came in,
Oh my goodness!
everybody-
it was so late.
everybody was just fellowshipping, and I know it's important that we get online on time, but that fellowshipping was more
Really nice.
important.
Because people end up leaving after church quicker than
Well,
they
it's
really
summer,
like. And
summertime.
yeah.
There's things that people need to do and get going, and I totally understand that.
They at least wait till church is mostly over.
Yeah.
At least the sermon.
So here we go. You ready for the main thing?
Ooh, I forgot about that.
You forgot about it.
We're just sitting here talking, and then suddenly it's like, oh
Well,
yeah, you know what?
You hit the main thing.
I did.
You did.
Oh,
So
sorry.
it's like, should I let her just, and then say, repeat that, because that was the main thing.
Oh, okay.
And you're like, what? What did I say? I don't
We're just
know.
trying to make a point.
And you did. You made a great point, because here's the main thing. In Ephesians, just as God, for Christ's sake, has forgiven you. Right there sums it all up. Or to put it this way, communion.
Yeah.
Communion is our fellowship with Jesus Christ because what he did for us on Calvary.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Jesus Christ forgave you, and he's willing to have loyalty, friendship, camaraderie. The King of Kings is willing to have all of that with you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do that with others. That's how important fellowship is. Be tender-hearted with one another, kind-hearted, forgiving one another. No, it's be kind to one another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, just as God, for Jesus Christ's sake, forgave you. And what's the first thing that happened when he forgave you? You and Jesus had communion. You had fellowship.
You entered into
Fellowship with one another.
Yeah.
Now go do that with one another.
Yeah.
It's important.
It's very
How important is it? Lord, what is the greatest commandment?
Love the Lord your
Greatest commandment.
God. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, strength, and mind, and it is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself.
Not unequally, not one's above the other. They are co-equal commandments that make one.
And that also shows the importance of your relationship with Christ, God himself, and the work that it is. It's not just you serve him. He wants you to be in companionship. He wants you to be in fellowship with camaraderie, with in truth, with sincerity, and in trust. And it's something that you need to stop and spend time with him.
So, Lord, so do that with your neighbor, love your neighbor as yourself. Well, Lord, who is my neighbor? Well, isn't it interesting that we go through this whole thing about this man that takes care of this other man that fell among robbers? Okay, great. So which of the men do you think was neighborly to the man who fell prey to the robbers? Well, the Samaritan was. Do thou likewise. Isn't it interesting that in having fellowship, one of the words is being neighborly? It is an equal commandment to loving God. If you're doing these things like cheating, stealing, robbing, sexual sins, immorality all the way around, you are not in fellowship with the people of God. You're totally opposite. So how important, you ask this question, what is the Bible referring to when it says fellowship? How important is it? Well, once you take a look at the word, you understand, my goodness, it's all throughout the Bible.
It touches on concepts, even if you don't say it specifically. It touches on the concept. It also is used as a great guideline for help if you start straying away, that those who you're supposed to be in a fellowship look at you and go, hey, you're not at the same level of fellowship that you used to be. Are you okay? Can we get back to fellowship?
That is a good point.
Again.
That is a really good point.
I just thought of it.
Why are you seem to be more distant. What's going on?
We're friends here. I see there's something wrong. As your friend, I want to keep being your friend. What's going on?
That is a good point.
And that's how important it is to keep up with it, because if you seclude yourself, man, you fall into your own what's it called when it sound chamber, echo chamber. You're in your own echo chamber. Yeah,
it's all good stuff. And you're absolutely right. That's one way that we can take a look and go, what's going on with you, man? You're not you and me, I miss you. Where have you gone? Yeah. Because
where are you?
You pull away. You just don't want to do that fellowship.
Oh yeah. There's yeah. So.
All right.
Oh boy, I'm just toasty in here.
Yeah, that means it's time for us to wrap it up.
Oh my goodness.
Thank you for being with us this week and talking about fellowship. How important is it? What is biblical fellowship? That's a good point.
We learned a lot. I learned a lot.
And so as I will encourage you, if you want to do a Bible study on any of those scriptures, go back through. Take a look at the scripture references that we give. Maybe you might have some more of your own, so you would like to go to Blue Letter Bible and do some word spading in there with the tools that you have. I thoroughly encourage you to do that. So
it was really fun. Thank you for joining us here on this journey. It was absolutely wonderful. I learned a lot. I really enjoyed it. Dad asked me this morning, like, so what's your angle on this? And I'm like, I really don't know. And he's like, let's try with this thing. And it's been much more informative, and I really enjoyed it. And I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Yeah.
Same here. If you can, join us on Sundays for worship, 10:30 Central Time. Check out the little short videos that we put up or the memes that we have out, and share around with everybody. Help enlarge this particular ministry across the world. And with that, thanks for being here, everybody.
Yeah, we love you guys.
Bye.
Bye.